Oh, it's chaos again. That's it. Cut me right off. Cut me off. Let me out. Let me out of here. It's the airport. It is 4:47 in the morning, and there's a plane going to Seattle. Not a very big plane, but it's big enough to make it so that there's traffic congestion a little bit here at the airport. This was a Sunday night. The Sunday night was steady Sunday night. I've got about, I don't know, 200 and something, 270, 280 maybe. That's including the ride to the airport. That's okay for a Sunday in January. I did not get enough sleep in the daytime, and so this is why I'm yawning and having trouble. And look, there's a lot of people going somewhere. Monday is a big day for travel. Big day for people traveling, people leaving town. Look at this. All these cars coming out here. Well, I don't have much else to say. Didn't have any trouble with anyone tonight. I'm just very tired. I'm out here at the ferry terminal at Swartz Bay. After that run to the airport, I see that Swartz Bay ferries departures. After I did that airporter, I went back into town, and I went to sleep in a parking lot for about half an hour, and then I had this call to a home or institution for people with disabilities. And this woman had to come out to the ferries because she's going to Vancouver for a doctor's appointment. And I asked her if it's some kind of specialist doctor that they don't have here. And she said, that's right, so I have to go to Vancouver for this doctor's appointment. Great. And now it's 6:06 in the morning. And I'm gonna... I'm tired. What a morning to have one to the airport and then one to the ferries when you're tired. It's cold too. It's 2 degrees Celsius. And somebody went and spread salt all over at the ferry terminal on the road. Yeah, well, here ends the Sunday night. This is officially it. Second morning in a row, I find myself at the BC Ferries terminal. This one was for $65 from the neighborhood where I usually work, and there's one of their cabs. From the neighborhood where I usually work to here at the ferry terminal. There's a bus. We've got all kinds of competition here. Okay, well, here's what happened. It was a slow, terrible, brutal night. It took me till 2 o'clock to break even. And then I had a couple of lucky fares in that time. but still, many times I sat for over an hour and a half between calls. And then I had one trip towards the end, and this was at 5 o'clock. I cleared, and then I had to go pee, so I went pee, and I got another call, but I missed the call because it happened when I was out of the car. So I got back in the car, and I'm looking, oh no, what did I miss now? So I sat and waited. I waited patiently, and at 5:45 I got this 5:55 time call, and at 5:50 I pulled into the driveway, and there was a guy who had lots of luggage. There were 2 big bags, 3 smaller bags, and a couple more smaller ones, and they were this hard luggage, and he said he's going on a long trip, him and his wife. When I saw all the bags that he was putting outside his door, I asked him how many people are going. He says 2. I said, oh good, because if you had 3 or 4, there's no way we would have been able to fit everything and everyone in the car. So we put some luggage in the front seat, and we put everything else behind the back seat, and the 2 of them were in the back seat, and I brought them out here. It was 57:40 on the clock, and she wanted to make it 65, so I fixed that for her. She tapped her card on the machine, and it rang up $65. Beautiful. And the night sucked so bad, I only had like $180 before this trip, so it ended up with $245, which is respectable for a Monday night, but it was looking scary for most of it. So this morning now I got to take the car and drop it off at some guy's place because he's going to be repairing it. The hybrid battery is on its way out. Now a new one from Toyota dealership would cost $3,000, and there's a used one in Vancouver that the owner of this car could have bought, but it would have cost him $2,000 plus $150 for the shipping to send it here to Victoria. So instead he's going to this guy who can replace the individual cells, and he's gonna test them and see which ones are no good, and he's gonna take those cells which are no good and replace only those. So that should be the cheaper solution to the problem. And the reason he's going that way is because he doesn't plan to keep this car on the road as a taxi for more than about a year. So I think it's on its last year, and he doesn't want to put more money into it than necessary, which I understand. It's getting to be tired. I've been driving it for almost 5 years myself, and it was put on as a taxi a few short months before I started driving it. Wow, it's humid out here. Look at this. It's foggy. Okay, well, that's 2 nights out of 5 down. I'll be back tomorrow, I suppose. You know this place. We are at the airport, and I'm on my way out of here. Ooh, nothing coming. Something coming, but I'm out. Yeah, beep yourself, asshole. God damn. Oh, what a night. What a stupid, slow, crazy, crappy night. I will tell you about it. I slept in about an hour longer than I usually would sleep. I think I needed the rest really bad. After taking the car to the other end of town in the morning, and taking it to be repaired, but the repair wasn't any good. We're still having issues with the hybrid drive system. Okay, so I got to work an hour late, and I waited an hour for my first call. It took me until 1 o'clock, I think. 1 o'clock to get my lease on. Then I had a drug run. Then I had a short fare. Then I sat for a long time. And then I had another drug run. And after that drug run, I went back and watched some more video. And then I got this girl who I guess claimed to be an ex-hooker. She took her bicycle from someplace to another place. I guess from her mother's old folks' home where her mother lives to her place, which is an ex-motel on the gorge. Kind of a dive. So she took her bicycle there and picked up a few things there, and then she wanted to go to James Bay, but then she went to somewhere else, and she wanted to borrow my phone, which I hate doing, giving my phone to people, so she could call somebody and tell him to have money when we got there to pay for me. And the guy said he only had $16, and we were at $16 already on the clock. And we had to go another $6 or $7 worth. And she says, "Oh, I'm not usually like this. I'm blah, 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 blah. I'll make it up to you. I'll give you a $20 tip next week." Whatever. Anyway, she instructed her friend to look for change. So she gave me $10 in nickels and dimes. I'm not kidding you. And she was able to put the other $10 on an Interac card. Fuck. But that's where I paid for the next thing that happened, which just as I was coming through downtown, I got sent to the Carlton Plaza Hotel to take someone to the airport. $58. Thank you very much. It's on a card, but I don't care. It's still $58. What an insane week. 58. I made maybe 58 and 20. I don't know. I made maybe $70 tonight for myself. And the drug run, I'll get paid for the 2 drug runs on Friday morning. It's Thursday night. I think she wants me to go take her another drug run. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, there's nothing coming. At the airport again. This was another one of those nights where it was brutally slow at the very beginning of the night. And I waited an hour for my first trip, and then I waited an hour for my second trip. And the second trip did not go very far at all. At 10 o'clock or so, I had like $58 on, and I had started at 6:30, and by midnight, I still didn't have my lease. I think I got my lease together by about 1 o'clock. And then between 1 and 3, I had a few trips, and I guess maybe I had, 130 or 140 on. Then I went to sleep. Watched quite a few videos. I'm only 2 days behind now, and 2 weeks ago I was 6 days behind watching YouTube videos of whiskey tasting and stuff like that. A week behind on a couple other channels, and 2 weeks behind on another channel, but they don't post as much stuff on there as they do on where I'm on the whiskey tasting channel. Anyway, yeah, I watched a fair amount, and I fell asleep, and at around I guess it was 3:20 after 3 or something like that. Yeah, I'd say around 3 o'clock or just before 3, I started getting calls, and these calls would go a fair distance. It turned out that I was up to $190 on just after 4 o'clock, and I was falling asleep while dropping off a customer, and then I got a call to a hotel downtown. And that hotel downtown, the desk clerk was, he must have been new or something, because he came running out to me when I was there, and he said that your customer will be coming down any minute now. And I say, okay. And he goes back in, and he comes running out. Which room were you sent here for? I said 1008. He says, oh, I called another taxi for that one. I said, well, I was sent here for 4:15 time call for room 1008. And he says, oh, okay. So then when the customer came down, he says, oh, okay, you go ahead. The guy was new and trying his hardest to get it right, I suppose. So anyway, that all worked out, and we came out to the airport with $60. I'm at $250 now, which is good, very good. $250 is the kind of night I'm having typically this week, even though they start slow. Yeah. So it's all working out, but it's all on Interac and credit card. Anyway, tonight was another one of those that started off terrible and slow and ended up okay. So I guess I'll got one night left to go, and I'll talk to you sooner. Well, it's now Friday morning at 5:52, and the night was steady for the most part. I've got 235, which is not that terrible. It was steady, not really busy, but steady. And there were times when I had opportunities to go to sleep. For the most part, I'm satisfied with it for a Thursday night. Would have been nice to go to the airport. In fact, I had a 5:30 time call, and I went to the guy's house, and he was using a walking stick, and I couldn't. I thought he would have had some luggage seeing as it was 5:30 in the morning, and usually that's the time people will take a trip to the airport. But no, there was nothing like that happening. He was going to the hospital. And I dropped him off to the hospital and got another call nearby, and she was just going on up the road to a place called Fitness. Now, for a $5 fare, and if you're into fitness, why couldn't you walk it? I don't understand some people, but they are strange. Anyways, I did that, and now I have to drop the car off here at this end of town, which is completely the other end of town from where I usually work. And the reason for that is that a guy who's a specialist with batteries and hybrid systems is going to be working on the car, and he lives this end of town right here. So I have to drop off the car for him to work on it, and then I get to take a cab back to my place, and the owner of this car will pay for it. It's been with this guy already. This is going to be the third time this week. The first time he fixed it, it didn't get fixed at all, but he gave a warranty. So yesterday it went back on warranty, and then as soon as the owner drove it, there was something else wrong with it, and now it's going back on warranty for the second time to get the battery pack looked at and fixed and working properly. That's the problem with hybrids. The batteries are expensive, so the owner of the car is trying to get around it the cheap way by just having the battery pack worked on. And I think I missed the turn. Yeah, when I've got this light on here, I can't see where I'm going. Okay, well let's pull a U-turn here. There's nothing coming. Wait a minute, maybe that's not it. Let's see now. What is the name on the street? It is the right one. Yes, I'm supposed to be going this way. Anyways, my weekend's going to start right about now, so I hope yours is better than mine.